Welcome to Northport High School, boys and girls and parents. We're so happy to see you all tonight. On behalf of all of the art and music department, welcome again. We want to thank you for the beautiful artwork that you guys put up, and we wanted to remind you that every single one of you boys and girls has a superpower. Of course your parents do too, but every single one of you has a superpower. And I can see lots of nice costumes and lots of nice artwork that you guys made, and we're so proud of the work that you did. My name is Dr. Mergen. I have the pleasure of being the Director of Fine and Performing Arts here at the East Northport School District. But tonight, I am helping hands. So my job tonight is to make sure to help each and every one of my friends in the 3rd grade pick the instrument that they want to eventually play and find their inner artist and their inner musician. So that's my job, and I'd love to learn more about your jobs. And tonight we're going to do some music for you and have a wonderful time. And later we'll tell you a little bit about an opportunity you'll have to take some beautiful classes and courses and instruments and music this summer. So without further wait, could you join me in welcoming the Northport High School Choir with Mr. Roman?
Good evening, everybody. We are super happy to be here tonight. We're very stoked to perform for you. As you know, the theme of this concert this year is superheroes. So I know you've been thinking about your favorite superheroes and also those superhero type qualities that you have that make you special and important in your life and make you feel good about yourself. And we've been doing the same. I asked the kids here behind me this week what some of their superpowers were. And they came up with things like patience, and kindness, and empathy, and organization, determination, listening, memorization. Somebody even has math as a superpower, oh my goodness. Athletics, giving advice, having fun, being driven to do your work and get things done, being community-oriented, making connections. These are all great things and qualities that probably many of you share also. So we're here tonight to celebrate that. This is the tour choir and the concert choir from the high school, and we're going to sing the theme from Spider-Man. We hope you enjoy.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can, spins a web any size.
Thanks, Mr. Warren. Thanks, guys. So next, we're going to have the band come out and play for you. I just have a quick question. Do you guys like superheroes? I think you guys do, but I'm not quite sure. Let me hear that one more time. Do you guys like superheroes? Very nice, very nice. Okay, how about the Incredibles? All right, just give me a second and the band's gonna come out and knock our socks off. Hold on a second. Everyone sings, so your musical instrument and your superpower when you make music is your voice. This group in front of you tonight that's going to be performing, this next group is called a band. And in the band, you've got lots of instruments that they're going to be showing you in just a little bit. And those are some things that you can also learn to play this summer and also learn to play next year when you go to 4th grade. So that's something really exciting that you can see tonight and start getting an idea of what you might be interested in. All right, join me in giving a warm Northport welcome to Miss Croman and the Northport High School Symphonic Wind.
Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. Hi. We wanted to show you a little bit about what these instruments are. So we're going to do a couple minutes and show you some different sounds that all of these instruments can make. And much like each of you came from your families, all the musical instruments are families too. And we thought we would start first with our woodwinds and the flutes, who are over here. Here are our flutes. Flutes are usually made of silver, and the flute is the highest sounding instrument in the woodwind family. And they go from really, really low all the way up to high. And listen to what they sound like when they play together. Take it away, flutes. Those are our flutes. Next we have our clarinets and our bass clarinet, who are over here. Clarinets and the bass clarinet are part of the woodwinds, and our clarinet goes from super, super low all the way up to high. The bass clarinet can go from really high all the way low. And when they play together, they can sound like this. Our next instrument, good job, our next instrument is the oboe, who's over here. And he looks like a clarinet, the oboe, but that instrument has actually 2 reeds that they play on instead of 1. Listen to what the oboe can sound like. Thank you, oboe, that was awesome. And related to the oboe, we have the bassoon. Where's the bassoon? Back there. The bassoon represents our lowest of the woodwinds. The bassoon can also play very high and very low. And interestingly enough, most of the TV shows or the cartoons that you watch, if you listen, most of that is played by the bassoon. Listen to what the bassoon sounds like. So low the bassoon can go. Good job, bassoon. Thank you so much. Lastly, in our woodwind family, we have our saxes. We have our altos, our tenors, and our bari sax. The bari sax, who's over here, the biggest of the saxophones, can go from really, really high all the way down low, too. Can we hear what that sounds like? All of these instruments you guys can find in jazz bands and orchestras and marching bands. The woodwinds are awesome. Good job, woodwinds. Our next family is our brass family. And first up in our brass family, we have trumpets. Trumpets, where are you? There they go. The trumpets are the highest sounding brass instruments, and you can find them in all kinds of different bands, orchestras, and they usually play the melody in most of their songs. Trumpets, take it away. Good job, trumpets. They were loud, right? Next up in the brass family, we have the French horns. Where are they? The French horns, those are the round ones. They're like the shiniest in the group. And little fun fact, if you unravel that French horn, it can be almost 16 feet long. That's so long. Yes, crazy, right? Listen to what French horns can sound like when they play a melody. Anybody know what that was from? Yeah, pirates, good job. Thank you, French horns, nicely done. Our next instrument are the trombones. Trombones are different because they have a slide instead of keys, and they can make this sound. Listen to what trombones sound like when they play melodies. Good job, trombones. Next in our brass family, we have the baritone or the euphonium, which looks like a little tuba. They're in the back right there. And this instrument usually has melody, but also has harmony. And you're always going to see it near trombones and tubas. Euphoniums, let's hear what you sound like. Good job, euphoniums. Thank you so much. Our last instrument in the tuba family, and the biggest, in our brass family, and the biggest is our tubas, who are over there. Tubas, yeah, they're the largest of the brass instruments. And listen to how low the tuba can play. That's pretty low, right? It's like the bottom of a piano. Good job, tubas. Listen to what the tubas sound like when they have melody. Good job, tubas. Thank you so much. And our last family that we have in a band is the percussion family. The percussion family, in the back, is the largest musical family of instruments. These instruments are used to establish rhythm. Percussion instruments include any instrument that makes a sound when it is hit, shaken, or scraped. Some percussion instruments are tuned, and they can play different notes like the xylophone, the vibraphone, and the timpani. And some are untuned, and they make special sounds, and they add excitement and color like the triangle, or the wind chimes. or the claves, or the bass drum, or the gong. I hope you've enjoyed listening to a little bit of these instruments all on their own. Listen to what all of these families sound like when we put them together. And I know Dr. Bergen said it before, but every one of you has an inner superhero, so bring that out. We hope you enjoy The Incredibles by Symphonic Winds.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, you might think that I'm your friend Mr. Cicino, whose superpowers are music and baking. But tonight, you can call me Lex Luthor. And my superpowers are plotting and scheming. Can we hear a nice hello from all of our third graders in the audience? Where are you, third graders? We are so excited to have you here and for you to see all of these beautiful instruments. You've heard from several of them already. You'll hear from a few more in just a moment. But why did we invite you to listen to all these beautiful instruments? Because it's your turn. It's your turn to learn how to play one of these instruments, and it's your turn to take your place in the beautiful traditions that we have in the Northport, East Northport community. We are so excited for you. Now, I'll stop with the flapping and get back to the plotting and the scheming. You know, villains have feelings too. The instruments of the string orchestra are the only ones you haven't seen yet. I'd like to ask if anybody knows what the highest sounding member of the string orchestra is. Oh, I see a hand up right up here. Yes, sir. You got an F on your math test? Well, thank you for sharing, but that was not the question I asked. Who knows what the highest sounding? Oh, over there in the pink. It is the violin. Violins, could you all hold your instruments up high and show our third graders the violin? We have tons of them. Violins, could you play us your low G? Play us your low G. That's as low as they go, but they go much higher, and you'll hear a lot of that in a moment. Play us your high E violins. But enough of them. We don't need to talk about the violins anymore. I'd like to tell you about the viola. Violas, stand up, hold them up proudly. The viola is like the chocolate in your cake. It makes everything rich. And when I'm not Lex, I actually play the viola. Miss Croman, who you just saw a moment ago, plays the clarinet beautifully. They're both gorgeous instruments. Viola, clarinet. Okay, violas, play them your open C. You can't eat a viola. Well, technically it's edible, but just because something is edible doesn't mean you should eat it, kids. Parents will back me up on that one. Violas, have a seat. All right, now we get a little bigger and a little deeper. Who knows what these are? Yell it at me, kids. What are the... All right, cellos, don't hurt yourselves. We talked about this. Hold up your instruments. And gentle, they're expensive. Stop shaking them. I told you not to do that. Put that down. Okay. Cellos, let's hear your open C. Ooh. And now your open A. Beautiful, yummy cello. Wonderful. Now we have one even bigger. No, you can't eat the cellos either. This instrument is so big, it's taller than me. But then again, most things and most people are taller than me. What's that, kid? What? Okay. The bass. Bass. Now you really have to put your knees into it when you lift. Don't hurt yourselves. It's too much paperwork. We talked about this too. Hold them up, basses. Come on. There we go. Show us those muscles. Now, the basses also want to show you something they love to do. It's called a spin, and they're going to put Ethan in charge of their spin. Take a look to the right, kids. Whee! Not too fast. And speaking of... Oh, I used the wrong name. I'd like to introduce you to my friend, Diego. Diego, could you move to the front of the stage and show the students a little bit of the bass? Awesome, thank you, Diego. One last thing to show you. The coolest part about the symphony orchestra, it's different from the string orchestra. String orchestra only has violins, violas, cellos, and basses. But the symphony orchestra is where every instrument you've seen tonight gets to play together. We're all one big happy family, making beautiful music together. Can I have our winds and brass stand up and wave? You saw them a moment ago, but now they're in a different ensemble, and they play just as beautifully here. Okay, and they're really far in the back, but you're going to hear them in a minute. We have 6, count them, 6 percussion players in the Symphony Orchestra for this concert. Percussion, give them a wave so they can see you back there. They deserve a round of applause, and you'll clap even more if you heard them. Okay, I think I talked too much. Who's this really cool guy on the screen behind me? Do you want to hear music from Superman? Okay, we'll start as soon as everybody's super quiet. something that includes parents? Well, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we thought it was really important to point out that boys are not the only superheroes. In fact, when I was younger than you are, there was an amazing superhero. We still call her Wonder Woman. There have been some new movies made about her recently, and she's super special. She flies an invisible plane. How cool is that? Would you like to hear a little more about Wonder Woman? And by the way, does anybody know what her real name is? Very good. Wow, look at her. We got so much energy. You're right. Maybe one of you will wind up working in a museum one day like she does. By the way, what's Superman's real name? And what does Clark do for a living? So his superpower when he's Clark is photography. And Diana preserves museum artifacts. Really cool job. All right, but enough about that. Let's hear some Wonder Woman. Now, the night is getting a little later. It's getting a little darker. Some heroes aren't that obvious. Maybe they're a little gloomy. Maybe you don't know how hard they're fighting to help everybody around them, but they still are. Have you ever looked up in the dark night sky and seen anything flying overhead? How do we feel about bats? Yes, sir. Well, it's almost time for you to go to bed. That's absolutely right. If it's dark, shouldn't we go to bed? You need to sleep so you're rested for tomorrow. But you can't go to sleep yet until you hear our last piece. Batman, The Dark Knight Rises. to stand up and wave? Didn't they do a fantastic job with Batman? And now I'd love to ask our strings to stand up. Did you hear those crazy fast notes they were playing? Strings, stand up, take a bow. You did a fantastic job. Okay, boys and girls, next week our teachers are going to visit you. We're going to meet you in your schools and show you these instruments up close. I'm even coming to visit. I'll be in all 4 schools next week so we can say hi. You can call me Mr. Cicino. We can get rid of the Lex thing. But did you have fun? Are you excited to learn an instrument? Well, we can't wait. We have so many and they're all beautiful, just like you. Have a very safe trip home. Moms and dads, thank you for bringing them. We look forward to many great things in the future.